Aloha, my fam! Welcome back to Let's Play The Echoes of the Fae, the Fox's Trail. You didn't just have your eye removed?
Like you said about your coat.
Like you said
a reminder.
about your coat. It's a reminder that as useful as it's been,
some magic is too dangerous for humans to dabble in. I never went to a low magician again.
I never went to a low magician again. What?
There's another me. There's like a me.
Okay, Daniel. Mommy's streaming now, okay? So you don't think there's any scenario in which a human can use magic?
I'm no Urdune.
I'm no Urdune. The Fae reactors are fine, but low magic actually trying to channel Fae energy through a human body, that's a risk every time we do it. All Fae reactors are fine. Uh-oh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
For just a moment, I forgot.
For a moment, I just forgot. Don't worry. I'm a private investigator now. I strive to be forgettable.
Ah, now I see what brings you here.
See? Now, see? I see what brings you here. I suppose I cannot blame you for going mercenary. I suspect you had no choice. Please tell that to Inspector Luca. He keeps pressuring me to go legitimate.
You know the inspector as well?
You know the inspector as well?
Been quite the small town since the
Vostok
occupation.
has been quite the small town since the occupation. I'm here to talk about the commander of Estavad patrol camp near the end of the war. Oh, Edward Golkin? I should be surprised.
Nice.
You have a good memory in general.
While you are called a traitor for being brave, he is equally elevated as a hero for being a coward. Well, I guess I didn't expect you to be so forward. Perhaps I am too rough.
Perhaps I am too rough. His surrender at Estavad was not a fear for what would happen to him, but what would happen to his men.
He was a kind man, but that was his greatest failing as a commander. He was not willing to do what was needed.
He was not willing to do what was needed.
And
sadly, that same hindsight I spoke of earlier does not favor him, as many of his men died in captivity when the Urdune decided to execute prisoners. He gave up the camp to save their lives, but failed in even doing that. Sounds more tragic than anything.
A good commander
knows the danger of surrender, and how.
Standing to fight is the safest option.
Sometimes standing to fight is the safest option. Don't ask me how I know this, but Edward intends to request that his military records be purged or sealed. Why in Esther's name would he do that? Correct or not, his record should be impeccable. That's what I'm trying to find out. I'd like to take a look at those records if possible. I suspect they may reveal something different from what he told me about my case.
You've spoken to Edward?
You've spoken to Edward, and you must have come a long way to visit me here. No, not exactly. Here's Hera and Voska. Really? Why? Who would choose to remain here without a commission? I can speak from experience there. Maybe he was exiled by his family. Seems unlikely, but I suppose anything is possible. Perhaps House Galkin shares my opinion on the result of the Estes surrender. So about those records, I can only give you what is publicly available. I can wire the request to the capital and have them deliver with the next courier tomorrow. Thank you. I may have another question. Tell me about the Astra Poltro camp. What happened there? The last couple of years of the war, the Leshen did events. Far into the human territory, but they occasionally skirmish with our border patrols. I'm not sure Edward knew or believed that the Leshen attacks were feints. He was inexperienced and unsure of himself. He probably saw the periodic assault as a continued campaign against the camp. On some level, that's the fault of his training, as much as anything. The Imperial Academy was years behind its lessons. The instructors, veterans over a decade of continued unwavering invasion. This is all the more reason a command post shouldn't have been given to a fresh graduate. You didn't have any say in Edward's placement.
Without foresight?
While I was the arch commander of the region, all office emplacements are made by the Imperial Court.
No.
Let me send this. There.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
As they tend to favor powerful, noble families
Two more to go.
like House Galkin. I objected to the placement at the time, but my wishes were soundly ignored.
Remind me.
That's unfortunate. It is what it is. Edward Galkin was not the only unqualified commander during the war. Was Esav a critical defense position? Not terribly. Mostly just an observation post. Like I said, it had been over a year since any meaningful invasion effort. I understand why the court decided to stash him there. Nevertheless, when the Leshen took it, it gave them an unexpected foothold on the border. Good night!
Good night.
And forced us to reinforce the surrounding outposts.
Remind me.
And I'll run. Where do I move?
Was Edward ever punished for his unnecessary
How did that
surrender?
happen?
No, he was not recovered from the Leshen until after the immolation. By then, his mistake was the least of our worries, and the Imperial Court was not in any position to anger the House Galkin by souring their happy reunion with their son. Besides, it is not as if he did anything to requiring a court-martial. He merely made a poor decision. I understand. I may have another question.
Can you give me any more details?
What was Edward like as commander?
never
Trying
allow
to
it.
get me to speak further against a former comrade? You already know my problems with him, and you can probably guess others. Rich kid, given a high rank to keep him off the front lines. He could have at least been like you and stashed himself away in a guard tower instead of a command post. Didn't do either of us much good. I'll say, though, no matter what I thought of him as an officer, I won't speak bad of him as a man. I don't understand.
About
The front
Edward.
lines weren't a good place for him, but perhaps he could have served as a fine peacetime commander. I don't know. He was always nice, always courteous, and his soldiers loved him.
Thanks.
I suppose they appreciate his kindness more than his superiors. When you are a leader, you do not want to be hated, but you cannot be afraid to be momentarily disliked. I understand. You have no idea why he would want his records sealed? didn't have a single demerit during his time as an officer, and even was commended for his time as a prisoner of war. Even if he was an embarrassment about the surrender, his official records were impeccable. Hi, Rashid. Bye, Rashid. And as a beloved charismatic veteran, he was well poised for a character in politics. There's no telling how far he could have rise in the Emperor's court. That's a far better place for him than the battlefield. Sealing his records would preclude all that.
How so?
It is completely nonsensical. Unless what he's trying to hide from me is more dangerous than sealed records.
I need
What
more.
do you know about Foreign Ear Adetch?
I won't let that stop
Was he
me.
the Leshan who helped Edward survive the Irduin executions? There's that memory again. I only know what was in the reports, and even then it's been filtered through months of hearings. That's fine by me. He's the one I'm actually looking for. His mother hired me to find him. Didn't he die during the escape? That's what we're supposed to believe.
How so?
You have your doubts.
Anyway.
His mother says she never felt him die through the Fae. Isn't that a reliable sense? To be honest, I've never understood the Leshan relationship with the Fae. The only thing I ever cared about was separating them from it. She is convinced that he still lives, perhaps in captivity. I do not know who would have any interest in keeping a Leshan prisoner after the war. Certainly not an Imperial army.
Watch and
Oh,
learn.
you're the last of my suspects. Don't worry. I'm not here to throw that
Don't
accusation
play
around.
games
Good.
with me.
Because there are still Urduin extremists out there who would love to sow such theories among the Leshan people. The war isn't over for them, after all. They want to reclaim their power, and sparking up a conflict would be the perfect way to undermine the free cities. I've heard this theory elsewhere. You can't ignore it, even if you believe the Leshan is still alive somewhere.
That's all.
That's
for
all I
now.
wanted to know.
Lady
Thanks.
Meekov.
I will send a messenger when the records have arrived from the capital. Let's see, is there anything else here? What's this?
Point where I need to go, Mom.
You need to change to a guy with a hammer, bud.
Do you mean this guy?
Yep.
Where do I need to put this?
Ah, Golieva.
Oh, Novella,
What
what
brings
brings
you
you
to
to
my
my
You
humble
with me?
doorstep? Might be looking to call in
I
a favor.
see.
I see. I was
And
hoping
here I
that
was
this was
hoping
a
a bit
social visit.
That.
Sorry, not today.
Ever, if my
Not
memory
ever, if my
serves.
memory serves.
Mom, point where I need to go next.
I don't know, bud.
Sorry, the top thing. Do I need to go down?
Yep. You know I'm a very busy woman.
Nevertheless,
Nevertheless,
it is a
it's
shame.
a shame. I would
I would
dearly
dear,
enjoy
but
it.
that is
But
beside
that
the
is
point.
beside the
You are
point.
here
You are
for
here
a
for a
reason,
reason. I should
and I
appreciate
should.
that
Any ideas?
nonetheless. I'm looking for a couple of unregistered Leshan.
And why
And
would you
why
think I
would you
would
think
know
I would know
about-
anything about that? You don't have to play those games with me, Simeon. I know. Do you remember how we
Because I was
met?
providing
Because I
assistance
provided
to legitimate
assistance to
refugees.
legitimate refugees.
Say again.
You mean by being held prisoner for transferring money to legitimate refugees without informing the county government?
That is one way
That's
to
one
look
way
at
to
it.
look at it. Either way, a good way to ask you about a couple
I will be glad
unregistered.
to tell you what I know.
I will gladly
Olivia.
tell you what I know.
Could there be
I'm
a
looking for
connection?
Kiara Il Alba for personal
Ciara
reasons. Kiara.
Alba.
Honestly, I've never heard the name. Are you absolutely
I have a
sure?
damn
I have a
good
damn
memory,
good
Olivia.
memory. Surely you would know if she was staying in the city unregistered.
Why would you think
Why would
that?
you think that? You know, your connections. I have no interest in harboring fugitives or transporting illicit goods through the city.
Illicit is a
Illicit is a loaded term. I supply facilitate trades in the items that are arbitrarily forbidden. Nothing dangerous. I have no interest in attracting any more attention to my business here in Volstead.
Why are you trying
to find her? Our mutual friend Inspector Luca has been ordered to discover whether she was involved with the immolation of Omegard, and she was supposedly one of the Leshen I freed from the guard tower. That would be bad for you. In theory, I was absolved by the Emperor, but I'd hate to have any reasons for them to reopen the investigation. I like to find her before Luca does. I'll put out feelers and find what I can. I suspect the Leshen will be far more forthcoming to me than either you or the good inspector.
Tell me what you
I've been
know.
hired to look for Fulren Iradich. I hope you received your payment up front because you were searching for a dead man, not what his mother thinks.
She would know better than
most of us.
Can't she seek him
through the Fae? No, wherever he is, he's hidden from her. Sounds like he's dead to me. The very least, I've been hired to verify that, which means finding the body. You recognize the name. What do you know about him? He spent a lot of time here in Volstead.
Was a great
friend to the humans, even though he served in the prison camp. Did you ever meet him? Not directly, but I knew several of his friends after I retired here following my injury.
Does anything else come to mind?
Anything you can tell me, any leads that I might be able to follow.
I can go under here.
Anything you can tell me, any leads I might be able to follow.
He had a girlfriend here in
Volstead.
Volstead.
A human girlfriend. At that. You need to change to the little guy, to the guy. Yep. And shoot that. Yep.
Shoot that sparkly.
Yep. Shoot it.
Wow! That was a big shoot. Some sort.
Oh, really? We haven't heard anything about her. Such relationships were frowned upon. How did you come to learn about it? I listened better than most. What's her name? Anya.
She's a waitress at the
Winter Palace. A barmaid? That is excellent news, really. I was planning on going out tonight anyway. Of course you were. Are all Leshen so judgmental? Only the wise ones. Thank you, Simeon. Perhaps I should be less dismissive of your social invitations. Don't worry, I merely tease. I know that the last thing you need is to be associated with the Leshen rogue as myself. You're too hard on yourself.
You have
no idea. Banquet hall? Welcome to Volstead Banquet Hall, home of the Volstead. How can I help you, friend? Do you happen to know anything about star maps? I'm sorry, I know you must be a fan of shows, but I'm not What are you talking about? The stars of our play. I'm actually looking for a completely different thing. Maps of actual stars, the ones above us. That I cannot help for. Every night my eyes are not tilted to the sky, but fixed on the stage. That's great. Thanks. That was completely useful.
Here we go. What's this?
coming in here?
Whoa. And where?
I'm looking for maps of the night sky. Stars maps. Of course, what year? The most recent you have. I'm assuming the others are preoccupation and not much use to me.
It's a ring?
This is what we're
Sounds good to me. Here you go. That'll be 10 gold pieces for copying fee. Actually, I have a voucher from the Kavakian church. Oh. Something wrong? We have been instructed not to provide any What, are you kidding? This voucher is worth way more than a measly 10 gold pieces. Orders are orders. Why? Surely you know, it is the position of the county council that Arkan Vizin is an imperial agent assigned to Vostok to undermine the local government. So you're simply going to deny a request from the Kavakians. Only a request from the Arkady Vizin. We believe he is abusing his position as a member of the church to advance the agenda of the House Lapidus. I assure you, while Emperor Lapidus may have placed him in Vostok, Patriarch Vanson is a true believer. That does not change my orders. Okay, can I just pay the 10 gold pieces for the map? No. Now that I know that you intend to provide it to the church, I must refuse your request. So that's it? I'm banned from county services now? Any services that you appear to obtaining for Arkady Vanson. Fine, I'm leaving then. Thank you for your patronage. Ha 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 ha. Kitty cat time.
Bedtime?
No, not yet.
Did you say bedtime?
Not yet. Okay, time for a break. He leaves the office.
I'm gonna turn it off anyway.
Take that, City Hall. Bloop.
Let them rest.
Okay.
Say that
Good to see you again.
Say that again. Say that again.
What?
Excellent.
I just heard something. It's a little squeak. Did you eat that little squeak?
Nope.
Did Uncle Lily do that?
Nope. Uncle Izzy isn't even on my phone right now.
How curious!
No, I'm not talking to anyone right now.
Always happy to serve.
What's your favorite place to relax?
Sign me up.
Taverns, of course. I am streaming.
Nashville too.
You okay? You know what? If you're gonna complain,
What a pleasant surprise.
Walk up like hey. Stop. Then what do you say we go to the Winter Palace for a drink? Oh, then you truly have found the key to my heart. You know that Paramount will tell me that at the end. Who's Paramount? Who's my friend? Close friend. And my doctor is copy.
Look at it this way.
Go with it. Go to the tavern.
I like this.
Would you like to accompany me to the Winter
Would you like to
Palace?
come in?
I'd like that very much.
Sign me up.
Nothing like the smell of hops and leather to put one in a
If we must.
Is it always this crowded even during the day. Sure. I guess I'm not the only one who likes to drink away.
I think-
That reminds me, there's someone here that could use a huge lead
What
on
now?
my case. Yeah, you're right. It can wait. Well, now we're here, I think that it's my turn to learn more about you, love. You've already learned a lot about me. It's my turn to ask questions. It might be fun. I reserve the right to make stuff up if you question me. What? Okay.
You are a
Expect
charm.
you to be difficult not to crack. Challenge accepted. What's your favorite animal? Firebird. Really? Why? Well, it's a bird, so it can fly. A fly, and flying is amazing. And it can live its life freely, because if it ever screws up, it can just be born again. Thanks for the insight, Genius. What? Did I forget now? I didn't forget anything. What did I forget? Your phone? Whose phone is it? So who's supposed to take care of it? Whose phone is it? Fine. I'll find your phone. Be right back.
What do you think?
Nope. Didn't get caught.
What?
Why don't you go on my bed? Or do you want to lay on your bed? Okay. Then get over here.
Look at it this way.
talking.
Would you like to come in? Great news. Don't you worry.
This is not fair.
I really rambled on there, didn't I? Sorry about that. You almost sound like you were talking about someone specific. Waitress, over here, please. We need refills. What's wrong? I see someone who I owe a moderation of some money for, and I'm not ready to pay him. You catch my pick. Loud and clear. I'll put this on my tab. You go on. I'll meet you outside. Many thanks. That was interesting. Sorry about the haste, partner. Now I want to ask you more questions, like who exactly did you saw in there? Don't worry about it, love. In truth, I don't think I'm fond of taverns as you are. The stench gave me a headache. The stench? Never mind. I enjoyed myself immensely, even though I just rambled on about myself. Don't get used to it. Very well.
I like this.
I agree. But for now, I should probably get back to work for Harriman. Will melt me next time then.
Lady Rico.
Oh, Lady Rico, if you sought me out, then it must mean you have news about my son. We are making progress, but it's barely been a day. I have a few leads, but see if they shake out.
Just really run down.
How was that?
My batteries are almost gone. What did you have for breakfast? Oh, I didn't have breakfast. You didn't?
What do you mean? I haven't found anything connected directly to Fulren, but it seems that half of the people I'm asking are hiding something. This doesn't mean that he's alive, or that I can find him, but it seems like your intuition was correct about one thing. We don't know the whole story surrounding his death. If this is all you have, why did you come to me? I appreciate knowing this. Actually, I'm here to offer you some friendly advice. Oh, and what is that? So you know, all Leshen who are present in Volstead County are required to register their residency or length of visit.
That sounds delicious. It's more than delicious.
Hello.
It's energy to get my brain going for a full day of learning.
Yeah.
I just sort of feel fuzzy.
No, you're good.
Pay attention in class today. Remember how you said earlier you felt like your batteries were run down? Well, let's pretend you're a toy car.
Fine.
Now pretend that your tummy is like the batteries for the
Oh,
batteries are empty.
tired. We're tired.
Exactly. Now when you have a full charge in your batteries, you can go for hours. All the way
Morning.
When you wake up in the morning, your batteries are empty. In order to start your day right, you need
You
to
don't
recharge
understand.
with yummy fuel. Skipping breakfast left your batteries
Oh, that's alright.
It's not that
Which is why
simple.
you feel so tired now. You know what? I have the answer to your problem.
I need more.
Where are we going? My dad always packs an extra
Yeah,
banana
she's
in my
fine.
bag for empty
She'll
battery
live.
emergencies. You can have it. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, he did say it was for emergencies. And this looks like one.
We all make mistakes.
Thanks, Chris. You're a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You don't understand.
You digest a book on boats, did you? You mean this? Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Do not be
Now
fooled.
I'm never going to become a captain.
Yes.
Wait, this little lamb does have all that information stored in her belly and her brain.
Have you considered?
Not much. I roleplayed a little bit with my brother-in-law, Izzy. But I roleplayed a little bit with my brother-in-law, Izzy. Yeah. Kinda.
And eating technique was just the trick to help me pass the test.
No.
I think that book made me a little seasick. Oh, Treasure, you are going to look fabulous for tonight's furball.
I listen.
Yowzers, that's amazing, Pumpkin. Now you sit down and I'll do your hair. Now, Treasure, I don't need anything too flashy. I'm more about refined elegance. Simple and stylish. Simple
A little.
and stylish.
Let me think.
I got it.
Nothing. That's, she's watching, or, he's watching.
We're going to be the bells of the ball. We look so good. Simple and stylish, right? Right.
He's watching, Whisker Haven.
I'll see you at the furball. Later. Oh, Pumpkin! What's wrong? Dew! What did you do to your dew? This is how Treasure did my dew. And your dew turned into a don't? I just wish I had a wing.
No, I'm
Or
good.
colors. Looking for you. That's a dew even
I'm also kind of streaming a bit, just a little bit. But no one's here, so it really doesn't matter.
Looks like our wings
Why
are
do you
made
only
for the
guess?
You with me?
Yeah, they are. Sultan, how do I explain my new hairdo to Treasure?
Yeah,
Just tell her the truth.
Just take a step back.
Watch and learn.
but you're always so
Sorry,
busy.
Treasure. I know you did your very best with my hairstyle, but it simply wasn't my style.
This has become
To be honest, I really like
I'm
your wig.
bored.
I've got an idea.
Alright.
Time to relax.
if you insist.
You can't be serious.
I
I have my doubts.
please be careful.
Are you kidding me? I mean, she's not gonna make you bleed or anything, but nah. Not hot wet.
We do not know what's going on here.
You speak. I can use this.
Shall we? Well,
It'll be fine.
this is new.
No. No.
That's right.
You with me?
Yep.
Glamorous camping. Everyone named Griselda is glamping these days.
Time to relax.
Come with us. There's dirt here.
If
Alrighty.
you insist.
Camping is supposed to be roughing it, right? Oh, believe me,
Yep.
However,
I didn't even pack my sparkly bubble wash. Isn't that right for me?
That's fine.
Keep your pants on.
why?
I know. It's okay. It's very distracting. I'm sorry.
I've got this.
Yes. Love you too. Bye.
Any ideas?
I don't understand. From our lessons,
We are taught from an early age that Korvakians worship is a false goddess, a creature from the sky that stole a bit of magic and used it to charm foolish humans. I can't imagine there are many of us who would turn towards Esther after being Indo-credit as such. Apparently there are. The patriarch describes them as Russians seeking something novel, especially after their betrayal of the Irgun. Perhaps, but I don't know why. Let's see. How can I share this? But perhaps I hope he can find that fox for us. So any more on Cure Alba? Inspector Luca is scouring the city for her. He's convinced she's here, but I'm not so sure. Why not? Pretty simple. It's a stretch to think she would return to the human side of Forest. If she's a radical who might be wanted by the Imperial authority. But if she escaped imprisonment or punishment, why would she press her luck coming to Bookstick? Who knows? If Lucas thinks she's here, he must have his reasons. Understandably, he won't share them with me.
Intriguing.
Let's see how things are looking in my crystal. What is going on? Why is it raining crystals? I dropped it. Wow, that's weird. Did everyone just get taller? I'm a dog. Why am I a dog? I'm really sorry, Griselda. Why are you talking like True? You and your crystals weren't supposed to have my crystal. It's a switcheroo and it switches things.
And people, and cats! It switched our bodies.
That's so weird. That's me! I switch bodies with my furry kids. What's that? They're chasing me! The switcheroo right behind you, True. Good. I'm getting
That's what I needed a puppy to find.
You put my precious furry through all of this just to get a little glittery dog bone?
You are a meanie. You're right. I've been such a meanie to you today. It's just to stop people from coming in the maze and getting lost. I hope you can.
You gotta wait until I cook it. You gotta wait until I cook it. You gotta wait till I put it on your plate. You gotta wait until I cook it. Man, my mom said wait. I don't think I'm able. I wanna see some food on top of the table. Give me pancakes and sour made of maple. Or maybe a scoop of soup from the lake. You gotta You gotta wait till I put it on your plate. You gotta wait until I cook it. Okay, hurry up, then I'll do the dishes. Even vegetables sound stickers. You gotta wait until I cook it. You gotta wait until I cook it. You gotta wait till I put it on your plate. You gotta wait until I cook it.
Martha,
Let's get another.
I don't trust it. Are you sure that...
This is the life.
Are you all right?
Maybe
As a dog?
this is what we're looking for.
That's... That's beside the point.
It'll be fine.
Sure, baby.
Remind me. Remind me.
Fantastic idea.
Magic?
That's right.
Now that we finished our homework, let's take the pets to the park. Did you hear that? We're going out. Hey, where's Sparky? Where is Sparky? I can't see him around. Must be in the pillow room after having his fill of treats. I'll go get him.
Nice.
Sparky! Sparky! Come here, boy. We're going to the park. That's strange. Where could he be?
Magic.
That reminds
What?
me. Now what?
I've looked everywhere. He's nowhere to be seen. We still haven't found him. Do you know where Barky can be? Barky. All day. He's in the mall. Let's get up and check the mall. But before that, let's power up. You guys stay here, okay? We'll be back soon. We're ready to zoom. I wish the babies could follow me say. Barney was talking about something important he had to do all day. And he was being really secretive about it. I wonder why. Which is his favorite chocolate? There was a dog that came in, but with another little girl. From the description I was given, it sounds like Barky. He was given lots of candy treats, and left with the little girl. Oh no, did Barky leave us? Or maybe he was kidnapped. Whatever it is, we must find them. He's our pet. Let's go.
I'm sorry.
Becca and Bethany, you head that way.
Now what?
Ben and I will head this way. We'll find him today.
Stop.
Where were you, little fella? You scared us. We thought you went away. So you were protecting your candy from everybody else, weren't you?
Sure, Sophia. We
Yes.
have lots of work to do tomorrow, and
I
I'm
need to
very
see what I'm
happy.
doing, okay?
What's Battle Squad?
Ugh. Excuse me.
A family, what is a family? A family, what is a family? Brothers, sisters, a mom or dad. Hanging out, spending time, much fun to be had. Soccer with your uncle, fishing with your aunt. Grandpa sure does love to do a dance.
Had one grass.
Okay.
Our bodies process.
Don't lie to me, Herman. I know that Leshan can drink plenty.
Expressing concern for you doesn't seem to.
You don't need to be concerned about me, though. I get that. It's your head.
Would you like that itchy camera?
Sure.
I'm your doctor, Sophia. It's my job to be concerned.
Okay. Hard to hear the voice actors.
Ah, pretty and smart.
Well, can I get a different treatment plan?
That's not how it works.
Maybe it should. Maybe you should just leave me alone when I tell you to.
Sophia, just calm down. Weren't we just having a nice conversation right now?
Suddenly you want to leave. You want to go home.
It's getting late. You.
Why? Why do I?
It's common sense. This has been a long.
And what?
I'm sure you're exhausted.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I can just keep going.
Well, I wouldn't. But like I said, common sense would dictate that after a long night out and a day full of running around the city, the best thing for you would be a full night of sleep.
Any suggestions how I might manage that? Because a few more drinks might be the...
Oh, you're having trouble sleeping. I can get to work on a potion that...
Yes, Hermione, yes. I'm having trouble sleeping. Of course I'm...
If you told...
I told you 2 months ago.
But I thought it was resolved.
I'm leaving. The girl we're looking for isn't here. There are cheaper bars in the dots and better...
Sophia!
I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully I don't remember this so it won't be awkward.
Wait!
In a batch. How delicious. Let's check out Ms. Marmalady's top 5 trickiest tricks. I do like the sound of that. In a pancake making contest with Butterbean, whoever can make the most pancakes wins. Ms. Marmalady cheats with her fancy machine.
This wonderful machine can make pancakes faster than you can shake a spatula at it. Oh, stop that.
The pancake shortcut is trick number 5. Time's up. And the winner is Butterbean. When the fairies prepare a perfect picnic,
Puddle Scout Cricket ready for picnic duty.
Miss
Did you hear that? That's Bartleby. We're going the right way. But how do we keep going the right way? There's so many hallways. We'll work together to find the right ones. But before we can go any further, let's make sure we can find our way back out of this maze. Zip, zap, zoo, I choose you. Wiggle, dance, sport. Wish, come
Rykov, get a hold of yourself.
There you go, baby.
Why does this keep happening? Griselda, look! You've fallen here before. That means we've been here before. We're walking around in circles.
What?
Inspector Luca, what the hell are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing here? I'm keeping the peace. I received a call about someone picking...
The middle of the night.
No, it's the morning. And you're the last person I expected to find here. What?
Either when you were called about.
And all this time, I thought that you liked...
What? What was I doing?
Hi, Chloe. Want to play Snot? How do you play, lovely carrot? You each put down a card. Ready, set, snap! Oof. Sorry, but you have to say snap really fast when two cards match. Hey, let's find two things that match around the bedroom. What do you mean? Like, snap! A pair of socks. Snap! A pair of pillows. Snap! A pair of ears. Snap! A pair of eyes. Snap! A pair of... Oh, crumbs. Noses don't come in pairs, do they? I'm not very good at this game. Let's play something else. Don't give up. You'll find a match. I want to play something else. Let's play dress up. Yes. Okay. I'm hungry. Dress up is a game we play each and every single day. We can be most anything. Fairy, doctor, dancer, king.
The witness has you pulling a Russian bartender out of his bar, screaming at him about a fox you need to find, and though, if I had to guess, I'd say he got you across the hand and his...
Oh, no.
How much did you have to drink last night?
Not you two.
Fortunately, I'm the one who received the report, and the one that
What's that supposed to mean?
The Emperor did not give me orders to protect the Leshen of Adat.
So you're not even...
I thought you would be pleased. Besides, from the look of you, I think your opponent probably won the...
You have to find him.
So he can go to the county government and get you thrown in jail. I don't understand, Rykov. I'm doing you a favor. We're all still...
No, you have to find him and make sure I didn't hurt him.
I don't understand. He clearly...
But I could have. Just ask around. I don't want to hurt him, but I could have. I'll feel a lot better if I know...
He went back to work and finished his shift at the bar.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
Thought you might go after him again. Get your other...
So he's fine?
He didn't spend the morning passed out in a gutter. So, yes, he's relatively...
Why are you being so nice to me all of a sudden?
For the last 2 months, you've been an enigma to me. This makes sense.
Trying to beat someone...
Probably the most human thing I've seen you do.
What if I'd won the fight? What if I...
Then I'd have a much harder decision to make about walking away. Seriously, go home and sober up. Don't you have a kid?
I suppose that's true.
Oh, there you are.
Listen, Well, I was out of luck. Aren't you going to...
What can I say that won't upset you? I want you to be healthy. After all you've gone through, I want to help, but my attempts often irritate.
I'm sorry. I appreciate your help, Haramon. Most of the time. It's just sometimes...
You're under a lot of stress. I should have backed. I began work on a potion that should help you with your sleeping troubles. It should be safer than alcohol, at least in the short term.
You still don't understand.
Then help me.
It's not that I can't sleep. I can sleep. I just don't want to.
Why? Why is that?
It's not something I can explain. Leshen don't dream. Couldn't even imagine.
Where were you last night? What? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I'm just curious.
Nowhere important. I fell and cut open my hand. So, you want to chide me for that?
Perhaps I've been a bit too pushy. So instead, I opt...
But that is what...
I don't understand.
Disapproving silence is way more pushy than it.
So, no matter what I do...
You could actually accept me the way I am.
I think I'll just keep risking outbursts like last.
Ouch! That was uncalled for.
I mean well with everything I say and do.
I know, and I shouldn't have yelled at you. I was just on edge. I wasn't myself.
You sure about that?
I'm sure. Feeling a lot better now, actually.
Despite the hand?
Nah, this is the kind of pain I can handle. Besides, about that healing stuff.
Yes, fine. I will continue in there. All better.
Like it was never
Just don't take it for granted your connections to the Fae make you far easier to fix up than other humans. Doesn't mean it's a good idea to get hurt. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to stop lecturing you about that, but for now, don't we have some work to do? I can head back over to Winter Palace.
Focus!
Just talk to Folan's ex-girlfriend only.
Hey!
I wouldn't start drinking this early, Haramon. What about last week? That was different. I wasn't working. What are you looking for, that merchant's wife? I was undercover.
About the
Fine,
case.
I'm letting it go, but that is only the lead you need to follow up on. I received an art from Arcade Events, and he says that they trapped the fox for you. The church trapped it? That's what the mister says. Huh. I guess I should check it out. Maybe I'll be able to sense where Folan went off to. A bonded animal is like an enchanted object, right?
I think not.
Oops.
It's like a leash for a dog, except made of Fae energy. In theory, you may be able to feel the leash. But if Folan somehow cut off from the Fae like Tiethia seems to think, it won't lead anywhere, still worth a try. Finally, there's a military camp. The shipment from the capital probably came in this morning, hopefully with the records Viola requested. Really incredible turnabout from the Empire. If she managed to get them already, I almost don't believe her.
Huh?
Why is that? I served in the Imperial Army. We barely got shipments of food on time. And again, Viola seems to have it out for Edward. Maybe she'd like to see his war hero in captivity story questioned. Surprisingly petty for someone who has risen so high in the ranks. Not really. Sometimes petty goes a long way, especially if you have the right targets.
It's possible.
And you think Edward is a good target?
Maybe?
Depends on what he's not telling us.
I saw many geysers heading towards the dojo.
But you can stop them, right? I mean, you got some wishes, right?
Of course.
Well, I'm coming with you.
Bartleby, we must remind you, if you leave this dojo, you cannot return.
I know, but I have to help my friend.
I'm sorry.
Stop itching it.
Rainbow King, what's wrong?
I need to get... What? I've never heard of before.
His This message isn't coming through clearly.
Talk more clearly, please. Just find water quick. Giant plants. I'll never get out. Help. Yes, we need help to hear you too.
Uh-oh, this is bad. Looks like the king is in trouble, Bartleby. We have to take a closer look.
Yes. Wait, you mean by going into the cave? Like entering? You know, I'm not a big fan of caves, True.
Is it because they're a little dark?
More like frighteningly dark. Whoa, thanks, True.
Can't do this on our own. We need some wish help.
I agree. I was having the sweetest dream about my fishy poof crackers when you woke me. They were dancing right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, fishy poof crackers. So fishy, so poofy, so crackery.
Your dream sounds tasty.
Mom, we need some eyelashes.
Griselda and Bingo Bango didn't show up at
What?
the
We
Color
need some eyelashes so we can
I spy
make
with my
wish.
hidden eye
Here,
something
stop.
that is Bingo Bango shaped.
He's leaving. Stop.
I wish for a new type, new Batman.
Wait, come back. True, stop that bus. Well, that's just great. Now we don't have any DJ for the super duper dance party. What happened? Why didn't you meet Bingo Bango? I did meet him. He came to my castle to practice, but he didn't play very well. At all. Really? That doesn't sound like him. Then he said he...
This book of sneeze cures should help ease your discomfort, sire. First, apply warming cream to help clear the sinuses.
Sure, this is...
Next, cover the patient's head in a warm woolly hat.
I don't think...
Then, playing soft music helps patients relax. It's working! What's going on out there? Flying photons! The whole city's gone crazy with color. Hello, Drew. I need some ingredients, please, Wishes.
That soup smells, different.
It's for the king. It won't heal him, but it should help him rest until we find a cure for his Wachugala.
Desi, do you know why our costume trunk is empty?
No.
Bull Buddies! It's so great you're here! Desert Dragon and I were about to play dress up, but someone has taken all our costumes.
I was going to be a knight.
And I was going to dress up as a princess.
Who took our costumes?
There's only one person who would know. Wizard! I'll need your help to make Wizard appear. Will you help me? You will? You're the ball best. We're going to have to move
Who can say?
to do it.
I have my.
Our Bell Zone.
Alright, I'm going to end the episode here for tonight. If you liked it, hit that like button. Please comment, hit that bell icon when you subscribe, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Bye!
I haven't heard it. Bye.